Well, hello people. It's Dance of Dragons here with another Division 2 video. Build video, to be honest. I haven't done one for a while. Last one I did was my 400 odd K health build, which got a fair amount of views. I know I was on whether to actually do the video for the sheer fact that, well, with the upcoming changes in the patch, next patch, Gear 2.0, I'm hoping this build doesn't get completely shredded to pieces. I hope I still hit hard. I hit hard anyway on this build. So with that in mind, let's head into the build. It is not the build I was actually running there. Ignore me for a second. There we go. Right, start again, shall we? So it's a 3-piece AC, 3-piece Heraldi, which you're probably thinking, well, you know, that's been done before. Nothing new about it. Well, yeah and no. We've got a Heraldi mask, which has got 52% damage to elite. I would like the 55, but that is the most elusive thing that I have tried to get and not got at all. This is the highest I've got. So we've got 6% crit chance and 52% damage to elites, with an offensive mod slot with 1% weapon damage and 5% marksman rifle damage, so a total of 6% weapon damage there. We then have a Heraldi backpack, sorry, Ace's backpack, with 10.5% weapon damage, 7.5% crit damage, and 6% crit hit chance and hard hitting. So that's another 25% damage to elites. So that's put me at 67 so far. Yeah, brain working. Sorry, 77. Oh god, it's been a long day. Mods wise, I'm using 2 mods with 2% weapon damage and then 4% marksman rifle damage. So that's another 6% per mod. So that's another 12% there, right off the bat. Gloves, I'm using Heraldi gloves with 12% marksman rifle damage and precise, so an extra 15% headshot damage. Heraldi, accuracy 10%, headshot damage 10%, and 10% marksman rifle damage, which is just synergizes with this perfectly. On its own it's good, but with the aces it's even better. Knee pads, Heraldi, with 20k health. I would like to get that up to 24. I've got a... where are you? There we go. I'd like to put that on there, but then that nicks it from that pair of knee pads. Decent. Just over 20k, it's quite good. With composure, 1 in cover. Now, as a sniper, you're generally always in cover. So it's not something you can't sort of avoid. So you get an extra 10% total weapon damage. So it takes your weapon damage, so whatever your weapon damage is, and adds 10% on top of that. Okay? It's not 10% of what you know, whatever, it's 10% of your total weapon damage. Another offensive mod slot, firearms, with 1% weapon damage, another 5% marksman rifle damage, so again, another 6%. My holster is Ace's holster. Now, if you don't know Aces, you've got 10% marksman rifle damage for 2-piece, and the 3-piece is Dead Man's Head. Flip a card by shooting any enemy with marksman rifle. Headshot flip 2. Full house increases magazine size by 100% for 10 seconds. 4 of a kind grants 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. And Aces and 8 grants the next 5 bullets 100% bonus damage. Now, with the recent patch that they updated, the one prior to the new content we had last week, if you miss a shot, you don't consume that bonus. So in other words, if I get down to the last one shot and I miss it, I don't lose that shot. It still stays in my round, and I can then use it to hit the NPC again, which is quite good, because before you would lose, obviously, that stack. Got 16% crit chance and 9% crit damage, and the mods I'm using are 2% weapon damage, 4% marksman rifle damage, and 1% weapon damage and 5% marksman rifle damage. So again, another 6% per mod, so that's another 12% weapon damage. Now, the je ne sais quoi of the build is my chest piece. I found it outside of the Lincoln Memorial, on the outside, on just a random crate. Quite shocked. It's perfect vigilance. And here's the chest. We have rolled with 16% weapon damage right off the bat and 23% headshot damage. Now if I go into my little stat sheet, I haven't got it on screen, I think the maximum for headshot damage is about 25%, and then the weapon damage is 18%. So I've got near god roll. I mean, in all fairness, with the way they're RNGs, I would call this god roll anyway. And then you've got perfect vigilance. Gain plus 30% weapon damage. Taking damage disables his buff for 4 seconds. And then chest piece again, I have 0.5% weapon damage and 6% marksman rifle damage. So there's 6.5% on there. And then I've got a 9,400 health mod just to bump that up a tiny bit. So if I go into my stat sheet, let's go into the weapons first. I'm using a classic M44 carbine with 252.9k base, well not base, sorry, damage. Base damage on this is near max. In fact, if I go into you, so base damage, I think it's something like a couple of hundred off the actual base damage for what it should be. So it's god rolled. I crafted it. I would prefer optimal range in there rather than Allegro, or even extra, just to get some extra mag size. But it is what it is. You can only go with what you've got. And then my secondary, which I'm using for the damage bonus on the marksman rifle. This marksman rifle attachments I've got is a long optic scope, so 45% headshot damage, 5% weapon damage, integrated magazine, and then stability. You can put stability if you want to, or you can put whatever you want. It's totally your preference. I find stability or even accuracy quite good with this, especially when you're switching from target to target, but that's just me. It might be different for you. The Nemesis, 680.6k damage. Absolutely insane amount of damage. Quite chuffed I actually got it at this.
Agent in need of
Talents
backup.
are shots fired deal 0 to 100% weapon damage based on how long you hold the trigger for. Difficult in the raid sometimes because obviously you've got the NPCs jumping around like headless chickens. Nemesis, aiming at the enemy marks them as your nemesis for 15 seconds, letting you see them through walls, and it also does the next one. Your shot gains plus 5% damage to your nemesis for each second they are marked to a maximum of 50%. So if you just mark an enemy, you can get up to 50% extra damage, which is just insane. So as it synergizes quite well. And then you've got the standard attachments with the Nemesis. Going to my stat sheets, we have, so yeah, damage 252,866, PvP weapon damage is 140k. Now I do one shot anybody in the DZ with the right conditions. If I'm up close, different scenario, but if I'm at a bit of a distance, then I one shot everybody. Headshot damage 256. Now you do get an extra bonus with the Nemesis, so you get, while holstered, gain extra 15% headshot damage when scoped with your current weapon, so that'd be scoped with my M44. So I'll get an extra, what works out to 271% headshot damage, which is just insane. Let's go for the weapon damage. 41% all weapon damage bonus, near maxed. It's probably 5 to 8%, possibly 9% off maximum weapon damage, if that. You've got another 2 to 3, well, I'd say about another 2% weapon damage you can do on the actual mods. Another 2 on the chest piece, and I think it goes up to about 13.5 or 14% on the backpack. 77% damage to elites, which, as I said, I would like the 55% damage to elites mask, because that would give me 80% damage to elites. And yeah, that's pretty it, to be honest. I mean, it's a well-known build of putting out a lot of damage, but I don't think I've seen anybody out there yet with a build quite as aced out as me. I'm not being big. I'm not trying to big myself up here, but I've farmed a lot, and the way I've done it is via doing mod-wise anyhow, the open world crate run, getting that done, and then getting most of my mods, most of the God Roll mods, from there. But yeah, I'm going to do some footage on that now, so hope you like it, and if you do, leave a like, smash that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one, and I'll see you in the next patch in New York. Peace out, people. Bye bye.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Mr. Sharp.
Vital signs critical.
CP captured. Good job.
Russians nearby. Reinforcements en route.
I don't think Russians nearby.
Incoming hostiles detected.
It's only a level 2 control point, but
Heavily armored hostiles detected.
as you can see, yeah, I mean, as you can see, I did close to 12 million just then with that Nemesis shot on the elite.
Supply room access unlocked.
I'll just nip back to the base operations to show you in the targeting range. The only problem is I have trouble proccing aces in the target range. Bloody annoying. Don't watch me proc it. Nope. I should have fixed the target range. There we go. Alright. There we go. Nearly 16 million. Which ain't bad for something that doesn't use spotter or, you know, spark. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and as I said, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.